My name is Cheryl Simpson, and I'll be your instructor for CSCI 111, Java Programming. In this course, we'll be covering all the different aspects of Java. You're going to be writing code, submitting projects, doing some quizzes, and really getting an understanding of how the language works. Before we begin, a little bit about me. I have degrees in both computer science and mathematics. I've been in the industry writing database-driven websites for about 20 years. I've also been teaching for the last 10. I've been married 20 years and I have 4 kids. So in this course, it's really important for you to understand the structure of the course. You will be reading the textbook. Yes, you have to read the textbook, but I will be providing lecture videos that go along with each chapter. I know that some students get more out of it when they hear an instructor talk about it, and I'll of course be including little nuances and little anecdotes inside my lectures to help you understand how this code could be used and different reasons to make those choices. So I really recommend you watch the videos. There will be assignments with each chapter that you'll be writing code in. We're going to be writing our code in Visual Studio Code or some other environment. I recommend highly that you use VS Code, not just because it works fine with Java and it works beautifully and it doesn't take up a huge amount of space, but also because I can use LiveShare, which allows me to actually work with you while you're writing your code. We can share the screens, and that works out really well. So I recommend Visual Studio Code that you would go ahead and install that for your assignments. The assignments for each chapter are going to come out of the chapter book, but they might be a little bit different. I found that if I just copy the exact question straight out of the book, sometimes it makes it a little too easy to copy or to get information from the internet. We'll talk about plagiarism in a minute. So remember to keep an eye on D2L, keep an eye on Teams, keep an eye on the team meetings to discuss any nuances that I'm going to add to the assignments, because you are going to be responsible for those. We're also going to be having quizzes. Those are going to be a multiple choice quiz that you're going to be doing through D2L, just to make sure that you understand the words and the terminologies that are being used. It's sometimes not enough to just be able to program it, but to understand why is really, really important. We're going to have weekly meetings. So weekly meetings are going to be on Mondays, and Mondays at 7 p.m. We're going to go ahead and meet as a team. This is a relatively small class, and I hope that we can get kind of a team feeling going with everybody coming on Mondays at 7 and saying, okay, so this is how the project's going, this is how my assignments are going. I can do a little bit of lecturing, and I can definitely answer questions for the class as a whole. We use a lot of Microsoft Teams for discussion conversations and for obviously our team meetings, but I also use Teams for chatting. So if you have a question of me, please go on to Teams and ask me the question in the chat. I have that up pretty frequently during the work day, and I can answer your question pretty rapidly. So it's really important that you be able to do that. In this course, there are, I think it's 14 chapters. So we are actually going to be doing 2 chapters a week, with the exception of the week that we do the midterm and the week that we do the final. So 2 chapters a week means that we have due dates on Thursdays and Sundays. You have to turn in your chapter 1 by Thursday. You have to turn in chapter 2 by Sunday. I'm pretty much a stickler with my due dates. I give you all the due dates ahead of time. There really isn't any excuse for you to ever be late. However, I do recognize that life happens. If something comes up and you have to miss a deadline, send me an email or text or chat early, as soon as you know that you're not going to be able to make that deadline. If something comes up and you're ill or you have a family issue, send me a chat and say, this is what's going on, and tell me when you are going to turn it in. It still has to have a due date, whether it's 5 minutes late or it's 2 days late, however you want to do it. If you do not send me a chat or an email and just try to turn it in late, I won't accept it, because you can't just not talk to me. If you talk to me, we're good. If you don't talk to me, it makes it a little hard for me to give you any leeway and any mercy. So really important on due dates. Try to stick to that Thursday, Sunday due dates. Midterms and finals, both are going to be projects. You're going to be I'm really project-based. Everything is project-based. In fact, in this course, 50% of your grade is based on those assignments that I'm going to give you. 25% on the quizzes, 10% on participation. And then 15% is going to be your midterm and final projects. So 5% for your midterm, 10% for your final. These are going to be projects that you're going to be building on your own. I'm going to give you kind of a prompt and you're going to just run with it. this is probably the point that I bring up the plagiarism conversation. It's really important that you do your own work. You're in this course because you want to learn it. If you go online and you find an answer, whether it came straight out of one of the many locations you can find the exact answers out of the book, or whether it's something that you just copied from somewhere else, that's plagiarism. It's against academic policy, and I don't tolerate it. All of your files get run through a plagiarism checker. So if your file comes back with a large amount of plagiarism in it, then I know you copied it. I can tell you what site you got it from, and I won't accept it. 0 instantly on the first assignment. The second assignment, you're risking failing the class. Don't cheat in my class. I'm pretty annoyed by that. So when you get your assignments, you need to learn how to code them. You need to learn how to program them, and there really shouldn't be any plagiarism going on. This is going to be a really fun course. There is a lot of exciting projects that we get to work on, and I really hope that it really helps you to understand programming, the data structures that we use, the different ways that we use object-oriented programming in the real world. As I've said, I've been in the industry for 20 years. This is really how the world works. You write code. And for you to be able to do that is really important for me. I want you to get the best education you can from us. So if you have any questions, please either email me or send me a chat on Teams. Everybody should have been added to the Teams team before the class started, so I usually get that done early. And come in there, say hello. We're going to start to be a group. Some of you will already know each other from previous courses, and that's great. That just adds to the, it's a small class, it's a nice group of friends that we can work together. I hope you have a good time, and I will talk to you soon.